And hopefully if somebody can just let me know, can you see that screen okay?
Yes, Duncan.
Great. Okay, so I'd like to welcome everybody. My name's Duncan Wood. I'm calling from, I live in North Wales. I've been making a full-time living from, I started in network marketing, but I ventured mainly to online marketing. I've been doing that for quite a few years now, but quite recently I had the worst year I've had for a long time. I literally had one thing after another happened, and I got into a situation where I had more money going out than money coming in, and it got to a serious point where I had to do something about it. I really didn't know what. The businesses I've been involved in, some of them aren't around anymore. Many have let people down. A lot have been badly managed, or certain things have happened with them. Anyway, cut a long story short, I was sent a video literally about 42 days ago now by a very good friend of mine, John Van Derzen, who lives in Canada. I watched the video, but I shouldn't have watched it that day. I wasn't in the right place, to be honest, and I ignored it. John persisted, and he sent me another message a week later, and in that message he stated that he had been in this system for 16 days and he had received in his bank 56,000. Well, I don't know about you, but I had to call him. I was skeptical because we've all been burnt in the past, so unfortunately we start prejudging things before we've even properly looked. So I called John and went through everything in great detail. I wanted to know who was behind this system, what was its longevity, whether it was legal, everything about it, the whole payment system, how that worked, whether people could fiddle it, everything about it. So I'm hopefully going to explain tonight everything about this system, how it works, and what's involved. So what is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is a system that's been around for thousands of years. If you think about it, what did people do before they had mortgages? If you wanted to build a house or buy a house, well, basically people used to work together as a community and help each other. And that's exactly what crowdfunding is. It's a system, a process of raising funds for any project, cause, through a group of people working together. And because of the internet now, this kind of system has really come to the forefront. Now, there are many types of crowdfunding, but there's four main types which are listed there, as you can see: loan-based, investment-based, donation-based, and prepayment or reward-based. This is actually what they call peer-to-peer crowdfunding, and you can go and do your own research, but I did mine. I phoned up a friend of mine who's a solicitor, and I can tell you that the first person I spoke to when getting involved in this, he actually put doubt in my mind because he said crowdfunding was illegal. I phoned up my solicitor to find out exactly who was right, and I was correct. He was wrong. Crowdfunding is totally legal, and especially peer-to-peer crowdfunding in every country throughout the world. So do your research properly if you're going to do it, and make sure people that you inform, if you inform anybody, that they do their own research. So why is crowdfunding booming right now? Well, it's really because of one big problem: the banking system. The banking system is failing people. We all know about the last banking crisis, and if you think that's the last banking crisis, you haven't seen anything yet, because the next one is going to be 10 times, maybe 100 times bigger. It's basically because of mortgage-backed security failure. That's the cause of it. It's how the banks run their systems. And if you don't believe me, go and find and do your own research, because you will find all sorts of films that are being made, and there's more information coming about what is going on in the banking system. It's basically, that is the main problem. There's lots of websites you can see on these slides that you can go and do your own research to find out what is going on and why the problem is getting bigger. It's not going to get any better, it's going to get worse. So the banking system is the main problem. It's a crooked system, and it's not helping people, and people being people needed to find another solution. So there's no better way of stop to stop going into debt than crowdfunding. So who is crowdfunding? Well, these are the main companies. These are some of the top companies on the internet to date. You've probably heard of most of them. I had, but I didn't realize that a lot of them are, or all these that you're looking at, are all involved in crowdfunding. And these companies are generating millions through their sites through this system. And they're not the only ones. As you can see, 2 social media sites on there. Now the social media platforms are now getting in on the act. So crowdfunding is growing massively. If you go and look at Fundly, in 2017, they state that $34 billion was donated through crowdfunding systems, and this is projected to grow by 2025 by 300 billion. So ask yourself a question: how much of this market would you like to receive? It's actually growing at 168% a year. That is phenomenal. So, and as I said, the social media sites are now jumping on the this system, and for them to put a new system into their site, which is operated and used by millions of people all over the world, is a major undertaking. So PayPal are now allowing people to use their platform to crowdfund, and they're not the only one. Facebook now is the same. You can now this will allow anybody in the world to donate to whatever cause you want. So literally, this is a growing industry, and it's certainly not going to stop growing in the next quite a few years. So can anybody crowdfund? Yes, they can. You don't have to be a company. You don't have to have a reason or to be a charity. In fact, even the kids can get involved. You need to be 13 to 17. You would need parental permission, but anybody over 18, that's your decision. You only need a phone and a computer, and it's the age of technology that is helping expand this even further than it is today. So who's behind 50/50? It's this gentleman here, David T. Rosen. He is a Canadian. He is an entrepreneur. He's very experienced in this industry. In fact, he's had 16 years of experience now in this industry. And one of the companies that the most successful, it's one of the most successful crowdfunding sites, and it's still running to this day. It started in 2002, and David actually sold out that company. And the reason was it's due to ill health. He couldn't continue it any longer, so he had no decision, but he had to sell it. It's still running to this day. Currently has 670,000 active members and generates over 1 billion in donations. Now, David estimates that this system he has created, which is using now the latest technology and with the social media that we have now, and the fact that it's totally different than anything else out there, he reckons that this is going to be 10 times bigger than his previous company, which is still running to this day. Now, you can see there that this company that he sold out generated 1 billion. Imagine when it reaches 10 billion in donation. So David has a track record. He knows what he's doing. He knows where he's going. And I can tell you, in the short time I've been with this company, I can see they are taking massive action and doing what it takes to provide us with a system that works. So why this company? Well, imagine if you'd got involved in these companies on the slide now. They're all household names, and these companies have become some of the biggest companies in the world in our lifetime in a very short period of time. Imagine how wealthy you would be today if you'd have got involved in these companies. So timing is everything, and it's exactly the same as if you got involved in Microsoft, Amazon. It's timing is everything. And this company, 50/50, launched on the 4th of October, literally just over 2 months ago. When I started, literally 42 days ago, I think it is, the company only had 500 people in the world involved. Now it's got 14,000. So let me just go through how it works. 50/50 is the world's first crowdfunding system that allows you to receive half of everything that happens in your donation center forever. 50/50 is based on the world famous Mobius loop, and a system called G Technology, which is the most successful 2x2 follow me donation center in history. What that Mobius loop actually means in short, simple terms, it means that any person that you introduce follows you through each of the levels that you can move up to in the system for life. They never leave you unless they stop donating. And basically in this system, as long as you keep donating, you keep receiving, and you always receive more than you're donating. So 50/50 is a team crowdfunding system that provides help not only from what you do, but from above and below. In other words, people you introduce, and everybody can receive donations literally seconds after donating. This is one of the key points I wanted to find out. 50/50 is a peer-to-peer team crowdfunding system. What does that actually mean? Well, there's no middlemen. There's no money that goes to the company. You're not giving any money other than a license fee, which is a 6 monthly license fee to the company. That's the only money that ever passes through the company. So all the donations are literally person to person, peer to peer, and they're immediately assigned. You are the beneficiary directly into whatever system that you want to accept. So as an example, you can use PayPal, or you can have it straight into your bank. It's up to you how you want to receive those funds. But there's no company, no middleman taking a slice of it. And 50/50 provides you with your own website, with your own link, with a totally automated dashboard that displays everything in real time. You can track everything. You can see who you are donating to, who you are receiving donations from. So it's literally a system to allow you to build up as many donations as you want for as long as you want. So how do you get started? Well, there's 3 simple steps. First thing is you need to register from the link that the person that told you about this gives you. Then you send the $29 to the company. That's for 6 months, so it's only twice a year, not much. And then you need to become what's called an active donor. So when I started, I donated to 2 people. Everybody does. 1 to your sponsor, and 1 to a person. You don't know who that person is, and nobody controls who that would be. So you cannot fiddle the system. So once you're registered, become an active donor, and then all you need to do is introduce 2 people. 2 people like you that want to raise some capital, whatever it's for. It might be to reduce debt. It might be to raise money for a business that they want to start. Whatever your reason, it doesn't matter. Once you've found those 2 people, help them to become an active donor just like you did, and then just help them do exactly the same. Find 2 people each, and then you will have 6. Now that is what is called a matrix, and there's only ever 6 positions in a matrix. Once that matrix is full, it is finished. You can do it again and again and again. It's quite a simple system. It's exactly the same through every level. So here are the 5 centers that you can get going with. Now you could, if you wanted to, start with all 5. There are many people that start with all 5 donation centers. Most people, including myself, I started with the 250 level. So I donated 50/50, half to my sponsor, half to the person that you drop underneath in the matrix. And you now can receive 6 times $125 in your account, to a maximum of 1 cycle, which is 750 on the 250 level. At any time you can upgrade to the 500 level. When you upgrade, you still carry on with your first level, the 250 level. You now have both. So you can now receive on both. So the 500 level, you share 2 donations of 250. You are receiving now 250. You receive back 1,500, and so on. You can see the 3rd position there, 1,000. You'll be receiving donations of 500 a time, times 6, 3,000 on that level. 4th position, 2,000. 1,000 a time in donations, that's 6,000 in total. Level 5, 4,000, 2,000 in donations at a time, is 12,000. Now imagine if you could get to the level where you've got all 5 receiving centers, all funded from an initial outlay of $250. It is completely self-funding. When I first saw this, I thought, oh, here we go. You've got to outlay 250, then you've got to find another 500. No, that is not the case. It is a completely self-funding system. Now, very recently, we added 3 other positions to underneath the 250 level, and here they are here, the 150, the 50, and the 25 levels, and they, as you can see, exactly the same thing. In the $25 level, it's 6 times 6 times $12.50, so a total of 75 returned. $50 position, that's 6 times $25, that's 150, and then the 150, 6 times 75, 450. You can have these 3 positions and the other 8 positions, so sorry, the other 5 positions, so in total you will have 8 positions in total throughout, and these sites can be linked from the same platform. So here they are here, here's the 50-50 fast. This allows anybody anywhere in the world to get going if they can't afford 250 as an example, to start at the $25 level. You could have the 25, the 50, and the 150. You could have the 3 positions plus the 250. It's really up to each individual of where they start. All you need to understand is you can start at whatever level you want. You do have to start at either the $25 in the 50-50 fast or the 250 in the 50-50, the standard. Now, what you can't do is, as an example, some people think that you could jump up, as an example, let's say to the 2,000 level. You can't. You literally need to start at the bottom level, either the 250, then you upgrade to the 500 or the 1,000, or you start with all 3 positions in one go. You can have each level in operation simultaneously. You use the same login for both platforms, and both platforms will soon become one site very soon. So all 8 levels could pay out on the same day. Just have a look at the figures on the slide here. If that happened, it's quite incredible what kind of how this works out. So this system now has been running just over 2 months, literally 2 months, and so far now 14,000 members. Now remember, I said when I started literally 40 odd days ago, there were only 500 people in the world. Now there's 14,000, and this is a few days old now, so that could be even as high as 15,000 now. Currently those 14,000 members have generated over 7 million in revenue in 2 months. That's approximately 3.5 million per month, and they are the stats for January. Imagine what imagine what it's going to be like in January, February, March. Absolutely incredible. So that is the system. Hope that helps. What I would recommend is get back to the person that invited you on the call, find out or think about the reason, your reason why, learn this system. It's like anything, the only way you will really learn it is by doing it, and by doing it you will begin to understand what happens. It's exactly like, you know, if I describe to you how to drive a car, you'll never ever drive a car until you actually get in it and do it. So work with people, work as a team, because this is a team effort. So I hope that helps, and I'm going to end the sharing of the screen, and I'm going to just I just want to, okay, so let me just stop the recording.